Welcome, friends! I still can't believe it, but we are here. My fantasy series on Wings of Ash and Dust is complete as the 6th and final episode, Edge of Fates, released today. I'm so excited you guys are here. And it was like 4 years ago now that I was just this baby little writer dreaming about coming up with just one book out. And now all 6 of them are out in less than 3 months. It's been crazy, but I am so privileged to be celebrating with all of you that are here live or on the replay. And of course, my 4 fantastic fantasy writer friends who you'll get to meet in a second. Also, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm actually going to pop up a slide here so you can see what I'm talking about. If you're just tuning in for the first time, as each episode of my series has come out every 2 weeks, we've had a lot of fun doing book chats on topics like plotting a series, world building, creating characters, and rapid releasing a series. We've also done book-related activities like book chats for every episode, which also included an outline breakdown of all of the books, plus fun behind-the-scenes details. So if you missed any of the fun so far, the full playlist is linked down below. But for tonight's release party, we're going to do some fun things. We're going to have a few exciting giveaways like free books, book merch, and discounts to things like my author website bootcamp, really fun readerly and writerly games, and of course some Q&A time while I answer your questions about my writing and publishing journey, the series, and what's coming up next for my books. But before we get into all that, I want to make sure you get to know my lovely co-hosts, and as I have them introduce themselves, I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves in the chat by sharing with us which episode or character of the series is your favorite so far if you've been reading along, and what fairy clan are you? And even if you haven't been reading, you can find out which clan you are by taking the official quiz that's on my website and link down below. But now I'm going to stop chatting and I'm going to let my friends chat, and they're going to share which fairy clan they belong to, what their favorite character episode is so far, and a bit about their own books or where you can find them. So I didn't prep them with who would go first, but I do see Holly next. So Holly, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Holly, also known as Right Holly Davis. I am Team Dryad right here.
Can you show the back of the shirt?
Yes, yes.
Woo! Oh, look at the wings!
Oh, I love it. So fun, so fun. So I am representing.
Love it.
I am a YA and middle grade fantasy writer and an author tuber. I also host the Diversity is Lit book club over on Goodreads. And my favorite character is and has always been Quinn. Like when I was reading, when I beta read for Brittany, like I kind of liked all of them. It was like, wow, like I was getting to know them for the first time. But then like actually reading it, I was like, wow, no, Quinn has always been such a strong character. So I love her. And my favorite episode is number 3. And that didn't change because reasons.
Because reasons that we don't want to spoil. Sea of Secrets, number 3. I love it. And also, I just have to say, Holly is amazing for being here because it is her birthday.
Oh, thank
so
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holly. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Best way to celebrate with friends.
Yes. And she also shares her birthday with my husband. So my wonderful husband has been super patient and great with me today as I release my book on his birthday. Alicia disappeared for a second, but she's going to be right back. We're going to now go to Bethany, if that's okay.
Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Fairy clan that I belong to is the Nymphs, which is really fun. And I'm going to check the comments after to see who else is in my clan with me. And favorite character, I have to kind of copy Holly. I feel like, I mean, it's a toss-up. It's either Quinn or Aaron. I like them both. Episode in the series, though, I will say, I was going to probably say episode 4. Is 4 the Sea of Secrets one, right?
3.
Or 3. Okay, 3. I was going to say that one, but then when I got to 5, I was like, that's my favorite. And so, yeah, I feel like Brittany does a good job writing remind me of the beat again. I always forget the name of this beat. Is it the dark? The bad guys close in.
Bad guys close in, going into like the all is lost kind of time.
Yeah. Very dark, very dark.
Yes, that one is Cavern of Terrors.
Yes, it's perfect. Good. And then let's see. For my books, I write YA fantasy retellings. So I have an Aladdin retelling and then a series that follows that. And I'm on AuthorTube as well. AuthorTube is the best. So you can find me at this name right here.
Yes. And I've linked all of their AuthorTube channels down below too, so you can find them all. Yeah.
Yay.
And speaking of AuthorTube, I'm going to jump to Alicia just in case she's got some more tech issues, because Alicia just launched her AuthorTube channel. So Alicia, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. So I did just launch my AuthorTube channel at the encouragement of Brittany and Holly and several of our other friends who could not be here tonight, but I'm just so thankful that they encouraged me to jump into this community. And you can find me at writer Alicia Grumley right there. And I have been part of Brittany's mastermind group, so we've done a lot of talking about the prep for this, and I'm just so excited that this series is officially out in the world. And I think my favorite episode is episode 6, I think. It's hard to choose. Yeah, I blew through it today. So I think that's my favorite episode. And I am always team Sylph or Kobold when I take the test. I thought I would be team Nymph, but I am hanging out over in team Sylph, even though that's why I'm rocking the purple and gold, right? But even though Quinn is like my spirit animal, you may have seen our Enneagram talk where I share, or Quinn shares, an Enneagram type with me, including my wings. So I love myself some Quinn, and she's great. And I'm always like, yes, this is accurate. Yes, oh, this makes me mad. And like, I feel a little under attack. That's how well Brittany portrays the type 8 wing 7. So, but always in the best way. Always in the best way. I'm like, oh, yeah, that.
Good.
And I'm honored to be one of Holly's co-hosts on Diversity is Lit. So.
Yes, right. Yeah. Very cool book club, gotta say. And last but certainly not least, Mandy Lynn, you want to tell us about yourself?
Okay, I'm gonna get my little story to do's out of the way first. I think, and I've only read the first 4 episodes so far, but I think so far my favorite episode is 3. But I'm gonna wait for my full opinion until I finish. And then my favorite character, I really like Hickory, and I think it's because I was thinking from the perspective of Quinn at the beginning, like, who do I trust the most? And I felt like Hickory was the least sketchy, or the least harmless, I should say.
Yeah, right.
He's sketchy, but in a different way.
Yeah.
I like that.
He actually reminds me of someone like I know personally. So,
Great.
and then me. So I'm also on YouTube as Mandy Lynn, and I write all types of different genres, mostly young adult, most recently young adult contemporary. So
yeah, we had a book come out around the same time. She had Meet Me at the Summit come out just around episode 1, so that was exciting. Yay! And then also I forgot to mention, but Bethany and Mandy also are sharing a release day with me today. You guys want to say the name of the book real fast and what it's about?
Oh, sure. It's Secrets to Selling Books on Social Media. So it's nonfiction, very different from what we're celebrating tonight. And it's about selling on social media.
Is it right there in the title?
Ooh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, it says it right there in the title.
Yeah.
So we are actually going to be having a giveaway for that book for all of you who are writers later in the stream. So if you're excited about that, definitely stay tuned and definitely listen closely to the Q&A time, because you'll win based on answering a question that you will learn the answer during the Q&A time. Just saying. I just wanted to pull up some of the fun comments because there's so many already. But here's Ingrid. You guys are awesome. JJ, I will also shout her out because she came out with her debut today as well, The Destined Divine. So JJ, if you want to pop in the title into a comment, I can pull that up here for sure. I'm Mary. Oh, and this is my husband, Ben, who's also his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Yes.
Doing
So
a
I'm
shout out to those custom emojis.
I know. They're pretty fun too. I'm just sad that StreamYard doesn't enable them to show up in the comments for some reason.
Yeah.
But you guys can see them if you look at the live chat. They're popping up all over the place. So I'm just popping up all of your names. We're definitely going to chat more in depth as we go. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy release day. And I see some favorite characters and favorite episodes, and that makes me really happy. And I will say, for all of you that have read through episode 6, just a warning, not everybody has read the whole series, and there's lots of spoilers in episode 6. So we're going to try very hard not to give spoilers tonight. We're going to have a book chat in a couple weeks all about episode 6, the end of the series, all the spoilers, but let's make sure we don't spoil all the juicy things that happen later in the series. We're going to try to stick to like the first couple episodes. Cool. Okay. You guys, there's so many comments. I'm so sorry. I'm going to leave it up to, I just have to pull this up though, because my Ben's saying Quinn is the bomb. If my moderators are going to let me know if I miss any big questions or really important comments that I should pop up, but I do want to get into all the fun things we have planned. And I
Can
just
you throw up JJ's book name?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I was going to say that's up, but then I don't see anything else that we need to.
Yes, I just need to find it. Oh my gosh.
It looks like it's near the bottom of my screen, like right above Ben's.
Perfect.
My
Thank you. Okay. Woo! Yes, everybody check out JJ's book as well. More fantasy goodness. I love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull up. Actually, we don't even need that. I'm gonna pull up a banner to let everybody know that we're playing our first game of the night. We're going to play a little Never Have I Ever. And how this game works is everyone holds up 10 fingers, even those of you that are in the chat, so we get to know each other a little bit more. And the host will take turns reading a different Never Have I Ever statement. I'll roll a die, which I have here, to help our host choose which question to ask. And if you have done one of these things, you have to put a finger down. The last person to have fingers up wins. Everybody, that makes sense? So I'm going to go in the same order kind of that I'm seeing you guys. And Holly, I'm going to roll for you first. And your number is 5.
Okay. Never have I ever listened to an audiobook while reading the physical book.
Well, I've definitely done that.
I just did that for the first time this month.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost Alicia again. Everybody tell me if you see Alicia pop back in, she's having some Wi-Fi issues. But yeah, if you've never tried that, listening to an audiobook while reading it, it reminds me of being a kid again and like having one of those kid books that you listen to the audio and it says ding, and then it tells you when to like turn the page.
Oh, that's remember those? Oh, that's right. I forgot about those.
Never done that. That's so cool.
Really? Oh, if you find them for when your little baby Atazada comes, they're really fun.
Alicia's back.
Okay, Bethany, you want to go next? Ooh, and I
Sure,
see-
let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay, so number 4 for you.
All right. That is, never have I ever given a book a second chance when it didn't grab me the first time. Is that like DNF?
When you maybe DNF'd it once and then you picked it back up to try to like give it a second chance.
I have a hard time DNFing, so yeah, I've done that.
No chances.
Me too. And you guys can let us know in the comments how you're doing as we go along. I'm 2 down, definitely. Let's see. Now the order has changed a little bit, but Mandy, you want to go next?
Sure.
All right, number 1 for you.
Used I'm writing as an excuse to not do something.
Oh, that's harsh. That's not even fair.
Totally. Alicia, number 2 for you.
Never have I ever looked up a questionable topic on Google for story research.
Oh, God.
Definitely done that. All right, let's see. I'll go next if I can pull up my questions here. All right, so I got number 3. So I'm going to say, never have I ever commissioned artwork for my story.
Oh.
No.
Am I the only one that did this one on that?
They're like, are you a writer?
All right, Holly, did I ask you to do 5 yet? Number 5 on your list?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I did. Okay, so how about number 4?
Never have I ever bought multiple versions of a book to have different covers.
Oh God.
I know you have on this one, Holly. Don't even start.
No.
There's at least one series that I know of that you buy multiple copies of.
Yes, this is a problem.
I love it. I love it. All right, Bethany, number 5. Did you do 5 yet?
I haven't. Okay, so never have I ever returned a book after buying it.
Burned a book.
No,
Return.
Return.
I haven't burned one either. I've never burned a book. Can we add that?
Never returned it.
What is happening here?
Wow.
I don't think I've ever returned a book. Have you guys?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Love it. Mandy, number 6.
Okay. Had a dream about a book or character after reading.
I don't know that I've done
Had a
that.
dream?
Never have I ever had a dream about a character or book after reading.
Oh, I've
So,
done that. I had a bad dream after reading the last Harry Potter book. I fell asleep reading it, and I also have a snake fear, and so I had a horrible dream that Nagini was coming to eat me.
oh my gosh.
I feel like you have very vivid dreams as long as I've known you.
Overactive imagination, right?
Yeah. I love it. Alicia, number 6. Have you done 6?
Never have I ever read a book because you love the movie adaptation. Definitely not.
No, that happened with me with Twilight. I saw the movie first.
That's funny. Actually, I have to take that back. After I just used that really scornful thought about that, I listened to an audiobook and then I watched the movie because I wasn't ready to be done with those characters yet. So
That's actually what I did with Harry Potter.
Yes, me too.
I watched the movies first and then I read the book.
that's fun.
Aw, I like that. I like that.
I've done that a lot, like with Maze Runner, with Divergent, with Hunger Games. Or no, I read Hunger Games before I watched the movies. Anyway, but yeah, I've done that a lot.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's my turn. Number 1. Never have I ever rewritten a novel completely over from scratch.
You totally have, Brittany. You have, right?
Oh, I have.
Oh, no, I
I've
haven't.
written down.
Tried 3 times.
Completely from scratch. Shoot.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
scary.
Yeah.
I hate that, but it happens.
Who has 5 figures up still? Anybody? Anybody in the comments?
Yeah, let us know because you do have more than all of us.
Danya has 5.
Jacqueline.
Yep.
Nice.
Four.
George Blaze.
JJ still has 5. Faith has 6.
What?
What?
Wang.
What is this?
Man has 6. Wow. You guys are good.
Wow.
Does anybody have more than 6 still?
Yeah. Does anybody 7 or 8?
Have you been running longer than a week and you have more than 6?
Let's see. Holly, you want to read number 3?
Yes. Never have I ever pestered a friend to read a book until they did.
I have done this.
Oh my gosh, I think I've done that.
Every time I read a book.
Yeah, right.
Read a book.
Does it count if they only read half of it because they're so not a reader, but they started it at least?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they started it.
This was awkward.
I think it could. Okay, I might be out after this one. Bethany, number 1.
Okay, let's see. Never have I ever teared up while writing a sad scene.
Oh.
Brittany is
Writing it.
writing it, yes.
Oh yeah. Bald, like buckets of tears.
Oh,
Just snot nosed.
Yeah, I'm stone cold too. High 5. I feel like when you know, I know what's coming. So it's like,
Yeah,
you,
it doesn't
it's
have
harder for
like, the same effect. So I'm real happy when other people say they cry, but it doesn't make me cry.
Right.
I'll cry with other books when I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it depends on what point in November it is. Is it November 28th? I have not written my 1667 yet. I don't know. Am I crying? Anything is fine.
I think that's great. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's see who's going to win this. Mandy, did you do number 5 yet?
Oh, no, but this is going to put me out. Cried while reading a sad scene in a book.
Oh, yeah. We just talked about. Oh, we're getting close now.
We are. All right. Alicia, have you done your number 1 yet?
I have not. No, and this takes me out. Never have I ever had a day where I wanted to quit writing altogether.
Oh.
And there's out. But it's been a long time. Last time I did that, my nephew, it was actually the night my nephew was born, and I was very emotional and I was very upset. I was like, I'm not a writer anymore. And I woke up the next day and I was like, no, I'm never allowed to say those words again. Like, never in his lifetime. So
he bounced back from it.
Yeah.
I feel like I blocked that moment, but when you think back, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Holly's out too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You and Mandy. So
all right, Mandy. Here we go.
Never have I ever written 10K in a day.
Oh,
I don't think I have. I don't think I have any.
You made the challenge, right?
Technically, that makes me like the least writerly, but we're gonna ignore that.
Listen, that's the thing, guys. You were. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say I had to try so many times to hit 10K in a day, and I finally did it last November, and I hit it like it was like 11K in a day or something. I was like, this is it. Like, I mean, I had to try like 4 or 5 different times to hit it. So
yeah.
I feel like I wrote the majority of She's Not Here, I think, is most of it 10K in a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that was also the book I rewrote completely 3 times, so I kind of need it.
And you were hosting 10K challenge days. So yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I forgot about
I blocked that out. Alicia also did double nano last year, if I'm remembering correct. She doubled it. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Insanity.
I don't think that's going to happen this year, though. It was a lot.
Bethany has this to 100K for a reason.
Oh,
yes. I have it here.
I love that you have that. I love that.
I'm using it for
That's
editing.
a great resource.
That's okay. That makes me happy.
Okay, so all right, we're seeing who else. So I saw a few people that they were out, but then we're gonna just shout out. JJ still has 2 up. Mary had 1 up. Sort of Blaze 3 and standing.
Good for you.
I know. Ingrid says, I want to hit 10K in a day, but never done it. Don't worry, neither have I. I'm doing nano, so would love to hit 10K. Good luck.
We should have a 10K day, Brittany. If you decide to like a writing stream or something, now's a good time to announce it. Want to lead us? Putting you on the spot.
Well, I'll just spoil a little something that coming up next for me is a break, but in November, when I come back, I would like to do some sprints and probably bring back the Faerie writing sprints where you guys get to join a Faerie clan and compete against each other, because that's always really fun. Yes, and Jackie's asking what double nano is. It is 100K. I'm doing 100K in 1 month. Yeah. It's a lot. Okay, so let's why didn't that go away? Okay, I'm gonna bring up the next thing we are doing. Got so many places to click, you guys. We're gonna have a little Q&A. This is gonna be the first of 2. So first we're gonna talk a little bit about the questions you guys sent in about me and my series specifically, and then the second Q&A session we're gonna have is the questions you guys asked me about what's coming up next. What do I have planned next, book-wise and writing-wise, all the things. So So Holly is going to be my lovely moderator, but also my other wonderful co-hosts are going to watch the comments so that if you guys have more questions as we go, then we will catch them as we go for sure. Cool. So Holly, you want to kick me off?
Yes. So tell us all, when did you first fall in love with writing?
Yeah. So I actually got started really loving singing, and that led into songwriting. And a lot of my songs ended up being mini stories. They had like a character in the beginning, and then they went through an arc and they finished at the end. So which made some of my songs very long. So I think I always knew that I needed a little bit more space to write my like stories. And definitely got into theater a lot growing up, and I really loved my literature classes. I was the nerd who was always writing in the, all the annotations and like analyzing the stories and loving all of that. And eventually I wrote some things of my own, but I really loved fan fiction as well, and even ran like a Teen Titans RPG site at one point, and it was a lot of fun. So that's kind of where I got started and fell in love with story writing.
That's super
awesome.
fun.
That's cute.
So how do you feel now that all 6 episodes are out in the world?
Oh my gosh. there are wait, say it again.
I said, yay! You gotta celebrate that.
I know. There are so many emotions. There's like the excitement and the, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. And is this really real? Somebody pinch me. And the just excitement of being able to like look at somebody and be like, if they ask like, oh, you write? Like, what are you writing? And be like, here's a whole full series. Like, this is so cool. I can just like send you to this. But then there's also the exhaustion and the like, just like, I'm tired because it was a lot of work. And also the surrealness of just like, did this just happen? Like, again, somebody pinch me. So it's all the things all at once.
All of the feels.
Yeah.
So
Leanne, sorry, Holly.
sorry.
I just wanted to say real quick, Leanne had a good comment about when she started writing. She said she was 12. Yep. Had a book written by someone that was younger than her. That is good motivation, isn't it? Like when you see somebody doing something that is a dream of yours and they're younger than you.
Yeah. And you just want to be like, I can do it.
Yeah. They can do it. I can do it. Watch me.
Definitely.
So while you were writing the story, was there ever anyone that thought your story was too strange or out there to be published? Like, did someone say this world building is too strange, make it more like those other books in the store so it's easier to understand?
Yeah. I don't know that I got the strange comment, but I did get just because like when I was going for traditional publishing, I got some traditionally published friends who were like, have you thought about making it a middle grade? Have you thought about maybe not doing fairies, but doing some other kind of fantastical creature, because fairies have been done a lot and blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at my story and I looked at who I was and I was like, 1, I've never seen myself as a middle grade writer. And 2, this is the story. Like, I can't help it. Like, I feel like there's going to be an audience for this, even if there's a saturated market for fairies. And that's part of the reason why I went to self-publishing, because I was like, if traditional publishers are going to look at the fact that it has fairies and be like, this is overdone, we can't do this, then I'm going to go find my audience wherever they are and get the story out there. So yeah, that's kind of the answer. I did have like some world building things, like I decided to name the female fairies pixies and the male fairies pucks, and like sort of redefine some terms that some people were more familiar with. So I had to really work to make sure certain things were clear in my world, where some people were like, maybe you don't want to do that because it could be confusing. And there were a couple things I listened to, and then a couple things that I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this anyway and just try to make it really clear because I want to.
I'm glad you published it.
Yeah.
And I feel like
publishing is awesome.
like, people are like, oh, well, fairies have been overdone. Yeah, but they're not your fairies. Like, so yours are unique. And
people who love fairies, like if you find people that love fairy stories, they're going to read more fairy stories. Like,
yes, they want more. They don't have a limit the way publishers do. People are like, no, more.
Right.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
So how many rounds of beta readers did you have, and how many betas?
Yes. So I had 2 rounds. One was kind of early on. Holly was actually one of my original beta readers. And I think it was like after I had finished like my second and a half, third draft, I think. And it was when it was a full complete novel instead of broken up into a serial. So then after I worked with my developmental editor and we talked about breaking it up into serial and how to do that, I then had a second round that was more to test and make sure that the serial format worked, not just on my developmental editor, but also just brand new readers. So that was really helpful. I think the first time I did beta readers, I had like 10 betas that I started with, and by the end I had 8 that had stuck through all the way through. And then the second round I only had 2 beta readers, but they were like on point, like they were all I needed. So yes, that's the answer to that question.
I have a question, if
Yes,
you don't mind.
of course.
So you say you broke it up into the episodes, then sent it to the second round of beta readers to see if that like breakup of chapters and all that worked. Did you end up having to shift things after betas? Okay.
Yeah, so it was mostly like the beginnings and endings of the episodes. Like my developmental editor and I made the decisions based on what we thought, but we also weren't looking at it with fresh eyes. So that's why it was really helpful to hand it off to these beta readers. And then they were just really helpful in saying like, hey, like, we got to this next episode and we actually think that like this first scene would be great as like the ending of the last scene, and then start with the next chapter, and I would just have to like rework it to make sure it felt more like a first chapter than a second chapter. I shared a little bit in some past videos about like specific ways, or like the book chats where I was like, this was actually at the beginning of that or whatever. So you can always check those out if you want like details, but I definitely had some shifting, and they even had more thoughts about like you could add this here, add this scene. And so they had such good ideas, so I just kept working on it.
But I think as someone who has read all 6 now, I think that the breaks did come at the exact right places. They kind of end on a cliffhanger, or you're definitely like, wait a minute. Like, I really didn't feel like I was getting answers to the questions that I had until like late episode 5. But I'm so invested in the development that, I wanted to keep going. So the answers are coming. Your answers are coming. It's okay. They'll get there. But, those breaks, they're devious and great.
Thank you. I'm so glad they work. That makes my heart happy. So happy.
Child of God has a question, and then a couple comments afterwards, kind of going into more detail.
Where did she start here?
Right after an Ingrid comment.
I've got a question.
Oh, I've got a question. Okay. I want to write YA fantasy, but I refuse to have any of the nastiness that modern YA books have nowadays, such as excessive gore, relationships, to keep the this G rated. Totally get that. I'm also Christian young myself and refuse to have language. Yeah, I'm in your same court. How do you approach this aspect, and what do you think personally? I think there are readers who are looking, like I've seen authors put on their accounts and stuff like clean YA fantasy. There's certain terms that I think people gravitate towards, and they're looking for those kind of books. So especially if you're going to self-publish, I think that you can do whatever the heck you want, and you can market it and find the right readers. I'm sure too, there's got to be, like Christian, I think you said you'd be writing fantasy, like Christian fantasy publishers too, that's exactly what they're looking for. So if you want to go traditional, that's what I would suggest. I don't know if anybody else would want to add anything, but those are kind of my thoughts.
Yeah. And I know, Renee Dugan, I'm reading an arc of Bloodsinger, which is, I think, the 5th book in the Star Chaser saga. And that's kind of like YA, like NA. And even though there are relationships, it's like very clean. And then there are like some swear words, but it's in this like other language. So it's like, oh, you're a Bendayo or whatever. So they kind of have their terms. So you can kind of use that. So it's still kind of realistic, but you feel like you can keep your integrity.
Yeah.
And it's still really good. So
yeah. That's a cool way to put it. I like that. Yeah. Jesse has a question too before you go back to the other questions.
Jessie!
It might be jumping the gun, but she wants to know if there's a paperback version to
Yeah.
purchase. And I thought,
so the quick answer is yes, but we're going to talk about that in the second Q&A session, where I'm even going to share with you guys a temporary early cover, which is not the real cover, but it's going to give you some hints at what is going to be on the final cover. So if you want to stick around for that, but the short answer is yes, there will be a paperback with all of the episodes put into it. So I'm very excited to tell you more about that in a little bit. Thanks for being here, Jessie.
So, which book/trial was the hardest to write and why?
Oh, this is such a hard question. I love the question. It's so hard. I feel like every episode had its challenges. I think I've always said that the first episode was the one I rewrote the most because beginnings are hard and getting them right is hard. But I think when I go to the trials, I think I developed and had to really think through and work on episode 5's trial the most, because it had so much kind of going on in it. And I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say it because some people haven't read it. And then I will say, though, in one of the trials, there are some battles, and fight scenes are already hard to write, but then like making sure that each fight scene was unique was also, and like paced well, was also like a place I had to go back and keep rewriting and making even better. So Bethany, you did your
you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
You did a good job. You know which ones you're talking about too, Bethany. I agree.
That means so much because I definitely worked on them really, really hard. They were not great to begin with. So thank you.
But that's a good point, to give all of your audience members and anybody that's a writer, like, it's not going to be great on the first draft, but the first draft exists. And
or the second, or the third.
Or the third, or the 10th sometimes, right? Like you get this finished product, and I think we sometimes skim over that, like how many drafts even just a scene takes.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. No, that's so true. Yeah. Do not expect, and we'll talk about like how I kind of want to change how I've drafted in the past in the second round of questions as well. So stick around if you want to hear about that.
Fun.
So, how are sales going? Can you pay the bills with the money you make from your books?
I love this question. So I think it's really hard to tell, especially so early on. Like the first book came out 2.5 months ago. The last book just came out. I will say that I'm getting sales, some kind of sales, and Kindle Unlimited reads almost every single day. So that is like a win in my book. But as far as paying the bills, I don't think I ever have or ever will have the expectation that my books are going to pay the bills unless I get like a movie deal or something someday. But I do have like goals for myself of how much I'd like to make, continuing to write series. So I have more sell through and hopefully build on that. I think, some people say, writing a certain number of books or a certain number of series, like really helps you with that. But I know a lot of authors, including myself, that also have side things, sometimes writerly side things. Like I have my author website bootcamp course and my Patreon and different things like that are related to my writing that I sort of group into my business. And that's kind of helping me make a living. Obviously, I'm also married, so that helps too. But I would love to give you guys kind of an update in a few months or maybe a year from now to let you know how sales are going then.
Awesome.
Sweet. Was that the end?
No, one more.
Okay.
When do you see yourself writing season 2?
So we're going to talk, because for some of you that haven't finished the series, sorry, I'm spoiling it a little bit, that we're going to have a season 2. But we're going to talk even more about this in the second round of questions. But I will say I have a rough outline that I put together for season 2 when I was working on season 1, but it needs a lot of fleshing out. There are no drafts of it yet. So that's the stage that it's in right now. It might be my next project, but I also have a few I'd like to revisit, like Sisters of the Shadowwood, which you guys know I've talked about on this channel, Project Snow, which is a standalone fantasy novel. And I'm also working on, like I said before, the paperback for season 1. I'd like to do an audiobook for season 1. And yeah, those are just some previews, some teasers of what we'll talk about more in the next section. But yeah, I don't have a timeline for season 2, but I definitely want to start working on it soon.
Awesome.
After a well-deserved break.
After a well-deserved break, exactly.
I'm sure Ben, if he's still here in the comments, I haven't seen him in a bit, but I'm sure Ben would also say, yes, please, a well-deserved break.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think that's his birthday present. It's a well-deserved break.
It's pretty much. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but and outline what that break is going to look like for you guys on my channel and everything. But I also saw a question. Sorry. Ooh, here we go. What made you choose KU instead of wide? So I'll just try to answer this as quickly as I can. I think for me, it was that I was doing a series, and I know that in Kindle Unlimited, it's like you can just go to the next book, to the next book, to the next book. And so I wanted to at least try it. I also knew that if I went wide, I'd probably lose my mind because I was coming out with a book every 2 weeks, and I would have to upload it and format it and do it for all the other vendors. And I was just like, even if I did draft to digital and like just Amazon, I feel like I would have lost my mind. So I was barely hanging on, just doing what I was doing. So I was like, let's stick to Amazon. Let's, make them available for purchase, but do KU and like analyze and see how that does. And then I can always pull out my books after 90 days and go wide if I really want to. Also the fact that these were short books that probably would not be paperbacks on their own. So it's like, I didn't really need to kind of expound and like go wide with those. I felt like, because it was just easier to keep them on ebooks and focus on one area. So that was kind of my thought process. I'm seeing some other questions too, guys. Sorry. Are you still planning on putting together the serial into one large book? I am, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Oh, not a question, but thank you, Tanya. I appreciate it. I thought I saw one other question.
There was one a little further up before the question about KU instead of wide, where they said, Tanya said, what are your thoughts on Kindle Unlimited so far?
I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's, if you look at what I'm making on the back end, I'm making more from sales, but I think that people are reading through the series even faster on KU. And I can just see that there's more days that I have reads than I have sales, I guess. I don't know. So I think, I would love to like give you guys more of an overview once I have more time and more data. So I will make that video at some point. Sweet. Okay, cool. I think I'm caught up with questions. Holly, and that was the last one of that section?
Yep.
Sweet. So we are going to, I believe it's another game. Woo woo. And you guys are going to get to guess with us which fairy character am I. So behind the scenes, I have given each of my wonderful co-hosts a different character. And actually, I'm going to pull up.
Are you one too, Brittany? I didn't ask that, but I just thought of it now.
I am. And actually, sorry, I have to skip around. Okay. Yes. So which character are you? And I've given, including myself, I've given all of my friends a different character in the series. And just as a quick recap, because it's fun, we have Quinn, who is our main character. Our anti-hero, our pirate, who is also a Gwyllion from Greymarrow in the mountains. We have, so somebody's going to end up being Quinn. Somebody is going to be Vale, who first comes off as a bit of a pompous princess. But she is a sylph from the Sky City of Eldor. We also are going to have somebody who is Aaron, who is our flirtatious merman. He is also, these slides are slow, is a nymph from the Sea World of Isinglass. We have Alice, who is our mute beast tamer. And she is a dryad from Vindoria in the woodlands. And then we also have Hickory, who is our half-blind artist. And he is a kobold from the underground tunnels of Tartarus. So we are, and you guys in the comments are going to help us guess which character everybody is. And I see Alicia. I'm bringing her back. And basically, everybody who is here with us is going to, I'm going to go around and everybody's going to pick one person and ask a yes or no question. You know, for example, you know, are you half blind? You know, would be a question for her. And the other person is going to say yes or no. And we're going to keep going around. If you were the person who got asked the question, you get to ask the next question. But you can't guess who you think someone is until your next turn. And if you guessed wrong, you're out. But if you guess right, the person you guessed is out. Okay. Hopefully that made sense.
So can somebody guess before you? If like you give them a leading question, can like the next person after you guess?
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Well, you see my mad face.
Wait a minute. I want to get it. So I'm going to actually, Alicia, if you want to ask your first question to anybody here, I'm just not going to ask the questions because I know who everybody is. Yeah. But you can ask me to determine who I am.
I can ask you.
You can ask me, yes.
Okay. Bethany, do you have blue hair?
No. Blue hair?
You sure? Are you sure?
You would
know.
She does not. She does not.
Good, now I know.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, you can ask someone. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Holly, do you like reading?
Yes.
Shoot, I feel like that could apply to multiple people.
Yeah, that could apply.
Mandy, do you like the seas?
Yes.
Yes, she does.
That could apply to two people also, though.
It can. I'm trying to be broad, but
narrow it down after.
Oh, it's my turn now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what a good. I keep wanting to ask not a yes or no question.
Oh,
Good luck.
Can you see out of both of your eyes?
ooh, good question. I can.
Wait, Brittany, you can't ask though, right?
I can't, so I'm going to pass it back to Alicia.
Okay.
Okay. Mandy, are you Aaron?
No.
You're going with that? Uh-oh.
She was daring, but you're wrong.
I am?
Yes.
You're wrong.
Oh no!
Oh no! Does that mean you're out?
I think so.
Technically it does, but that would be, you know what? I'm going to get rid of that rule. You're only out if you get guessed.
Well, now
No, I get, okay, fine. Should we keep the rule? That was so fast.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I
Alicia,
want-
don't tell us, Alicia, don't tell us who you are.
Oh no.
no, she can't ask any more questions, but we can still ask her questions.
Yes.
Since we don't know her character.
Yes, but so you can get to know her character, but she's still already out.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can eliminate who she is by finding out who she is, right?
Oh my goodness. Getting serious now.
So Mandy, now you can ask a question.
Oh, great. Okay. Holly. Wait, what question was asked to you earlier?
Oh shoot, I forgot
I'm going
to.
to say in the comments too, those of you in the comments, if you want to help us out by giving us questions to ask, you can totally do that too.
You know what? Holly, sorry. I'm moving on with my question to Bethany instead.
Hey.
Bethany, can you see out of both eyes?
No.
I mean, I can't say anything.
You can't guess.
But I have guessed.
Yeah, right.
My turn now, right?
It is,
I have
yeah.
like one shot to get
Oh, great.
all of you out. So I'm just gonna try.
Ooh, we have a question from Leanne if you want to use it.
No, I know what I want to do. I want to get Mandy back. I'm gonna get Mandy back. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Mandy, are you Quinn?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, so now what happens?
So now,
Holly's the only one who can ask besides me now, right?
that's right. So,
Shoot.
so Holly, you can go ahead.
Bethany is.
Beth. No, I'll keep this going a little bit longer.
That was too nice.
I mistakenly got her out so soon the last time. When I guessed her. I did not forget, so I'm not doing
Oh
it.
no, I forgot. Actually, that's funny.
I didn't. I didn't just say anything. Alicia, do you like to wear gloves?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, we know who you are now.
Mhm.
Ooh.
So that leaves Brittany and Holly as the only unknown characters.
Oh shoot. Is it my turn to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Okay. I'm gonna use my mind powers. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have okay. Holly, are you Val?
Yes.
So
Sorry.
that means that Bethany is Hickory
Yep.
and I was Aaron.
And
Nice.
Alicia was Alice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mandy, I thought you said when I asked if Bethany had blue hair, you were like, no, she doesn't. And that's why I thought it was you. I was like, well, why are you answering that for her?
Because she was confused as to whether she had blue hair or not.
Oh yeah.
You know if you had blue hair.
That's
I
awesome.
was actually thinking to myself, who does have blue hair? And it was taking me a second to remember who did. So I was just basically in my own world right there.
She had white hair.
Yeah, there were some fun questions in the comments too that we didn't even get to.
Yeah, no, you guys thought of good ones.
Ooh, the
You
sign
know,
language one. I
sign
like that
language.
one.
Do you
Like
have
Lily?
Leanne put up the. Oh, she's got it wrong though. She says Brittany's Quinn, but Brittany was Aaron, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So Leanne
okay.
was guessing even before we got started, really.
Oh,
She
yeah.
Brittany was Quinn, Alicia's Alice,
Nice.
which you did guess right. Holly's, so we got flipped there.
Nice.
And yeah, it was good guessing. Good guessing.
Fun to guess.
Can I just say too that Bethany has won 2 out of the 3 games already?
Wait, have I really?
Yeah, because the last one you won with the Never Have I Ever.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
All right, now I've got a challenge. Gotta win.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
that
actually,
Megan, Holly had it in the bag. Just
I know.
she let it go.
All right.
Thank you, Holly. You spared my
Oh.
life and then I took it.
Well, now we are this actually goes right in because I'm going to give Bethany and Mandy the floor because they're going to introduce our first giveaway. So you guys want to tell a little bit more maybe about the book, and then we're going to ask a question to you guys that the first person to answer it correctly gets this giveaway.
Okay. Mandy, do you want to start or should I?
I've been living my head in the other book, so I don't use start, so I don't.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes, we have 2 marketing books coming out this month. So this is the first out of the 2. This is about, as you may have noticed, secrets to selling on social media, books specifically. And Holly just left the most sweetest review ever. So I'm just going to shout that out and say I appreciated that a lot.
It was awesome.
It's really cool because it made me realize, like, I was thinking of authors who are published, but honestly, a lot of this applies if you're not published as well. And it's for both if you're trad pub or self pub, it doesn't matter. It's about knowing how to talk to your readers, how to find your ideal readers and have like the engagement with them versus just trying to talk to everybody randomly and not really know what to share on social media. So we try to give you like direction and help you know not only like how to do posts, but also like how to plan out your posts in advance and how to put them into some nice formulas that are very like, they make it comfortable, help you be clearer. So I just really had so much fun writing it, and I really hope it helps people enjoy social media more.
Yes. I think it will too. I got to beta read it, so it only got better from there. And I got distracted from beta reading because I was taking notes on things that I wanted to remember.
She said that in so many of our polos. She was like, "Oh, I can't even take notes on what to critique because I'm taking notes that are helpful."
I love that. That makes
All
me
the
happy.
things. And I haven't written my review yet, so I should probably include that in my review. I'll do that later. But here is the question. You guys ready? The first person to answer this question wins an ebook copy of this book. And the answer to the question was said during our last Q&A session. So hopefully you're paying attention. And here we go. Here is the question. What was the first form of storytelling that I fell in love with? Let us know in the comments. And I'm going to pick the first person I see because I know sometimes different people's chats like get out of sync and stuff. So just be kind.
They're coming in.
They're coming in. Okay, I think I see. I'm waiting for it to pop up on StreamYard because they're a little delayed. But I think I see JJ. Woo! So JJ, you are correct. Songwriting was the correct answer. And if you could contact, I already know you know how to contact these ladies. If you contact Bethany, she's going to get you a copy of this book. Thank you guys so much for doing this giveaway during the live stream. It's very fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So we're going to have more giveaways coming up. But we're going to move on right now to the next thing, which is another game. This is our last game of the night, Spill or Quill. And if you've been following me on Instagram or if you're a part of my Patreon, I sent you guys today all the Spill or Quill prompts. And if you don't know what Spill or Quill is, I should probably explain that first. Spill or Quill is a game created by Keelan Rivers, who is also an author tuber, and I just love this game, so I play it a lot on my channel when I do things like this. It is basically a writer/reader version of Truth or Dare. In each round, we are going to pick a prompt of either Spill or Quill, and you guys get to pick which one you want to answer. So the Spill is you answer a reader or writer related truth type question, or you can Quill, which is sharing a line from your story that correlates to the prompt shared. And so I have a couple prompts already picked. There's 5 of them, and I'm going to have each of my co-hosts pick a number between 1 and 5, and that's the one we're going to do. So we're going to pick one, and we're going to share our answers, and then I'm going to pop your guys' answers up on the screen as well in the comments. So let's see. Alicia, do you want to pick a number between 1 and 5?
Yes, I will pick number 1.
Number 1.
Yes, and I'm going to spill on this one. And the question is, so the spill question is, what's a character from any book that you love to hate? And the Quill is share a line that shows a fun aspect of your world, setting, or magic system. Okay, so I'm spilling, and I love to hate Daisy from The Great Gatsby. I hate that character. Oh my God, I hate her. Every time I reread Great Gatsby, I get so mad. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her.
I know.
I see one favorite character in all of the books I've read is Daisy from The Great Gatsby.
Oh, wow.
I'm very passionate about her.
I'm not getting on your 8 side.
I know, right?
Yeah. He's been on my
Anybody else have a very strong reaction to the spill or want to share a Quill that's on the screen?
I don't know if I hate a character that much. I'm trying to think.
I feel like I tend to love to hate characters more from like TV shows, but I can't even think of an example. But I know there's There was one because I remember the feeling. I just don't remember who it was that I hated so much.
Well, maybe some of our comments in the chat box will inspire you guys. So Sorta Blaze says, I love to hate Bellatrix Lestrange, such a juicy villain. I agree. That's great.
I would say Umbridge. I hate Umbridge.
Umbridge.
Yes. More than Trix. Yeah.
Yes, I am with you. I am with you on that one. Ingrid's also sharing a quill. So let's see. I'm going to try to read this as well as I can. Let's see. The large lake, which overlooks the town. In the summer, it sparkles in the sunshine as if sugar has been sprinkled on top. In the winter, it's black like tar, the depths seemingly endless. Ooh. That puts a really vivid picture in my brain. I love it.
Wow.
I also see a spill from Mary. I love to meet Caroline Bingley from Pride and Prejudice. She's so jealous and obsessive.
I hate her.
And Faith also agrees with Umbridge. Love to hate her.
I love to hate like morally gray characters because like you want to hate them, but then there's like aspects of them that are like redeeming. So for me, that would be like Holland from the Shades of Magic series. Yeah.
Even though I have like really strong moral codes, like as an 8, right? Like I'm about justice and I'm about like morality and all of that stuff. Like I kind of like the morally gray characters. They're interesting. They're more interesting to me. I'm not hating on them.
Right. That's why I love to hate.
Right. I'm like, oh, I can play with this. All right, let's go.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up this one by sharing a quill as well, a line that shows a fun aspect of your world setting or magic system. This is from episode 1. And this is from Quinn's perspective. The rest of our lot brings aboard the chest of sparkling pixie dust. Its alluring scent wafts into my nose a sugary aroma of all things sweet and tempting, yet light as air itself. It's the pure stuff. Luna scoops up a handful of the powdered crystals and takes a deep whiff, her body starting to float without the use of her wings. Really pure. Luna would know. Mined in the dark depths of the kobold tunnels, there's nothing like smoking a pipe of fresh dust as the rush and soothing calm takes over. Once the greatest source of trade, Phelan depends on it for fuel, medicines, incantations, and more. Growing rarer and more valuable by the day, clans fight over and hoard it as black market biddings shoot sky high. These days, acquiring any of it is a victory. I love the magics. Cool. Let's see our next spiller quill. Mandy, would you like to pick a number between 2 and 5?
I'll do 4.
Number 4. All right. We have. Do you want to read it, Mandy? Or do you want me to read it?
Sure. Spill, if you lived in your favorite book, what would be an ally? Would you be an ally to the MC or their enemy? Or Quill, a line that shows tension or emotion? I'm going to do Spill because I didn't do my homework for Quill. And I think, I don't know what favorite book I would choose, but I feel like for any of them, I would not want to be an enemy because, like, the first thing that pops in my head is like the Hunger Games and being an enemy to Katniss Everdeen. Like, I don't think that would go well. So,
yeah, definitely. I love it.
Oh, Katniss is
yeah, definitely an ally for sure. But to who? Favorite book? Do you guys have a favorite book? I don't have just one. That's
no way. Yeah, I have
like any of the favorites.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Well, while you guys, do you have something?
I guess just an ally. I don't know. I feel like this is really especially good for YA, but my favorite book is Redeeming Love, which is more like a romance. So then it's like I'm an ally in a romance, awkward third wheel. That's how that feels.
You're that random person on the sideline rooting for the couple.
Yes. Yes, you got this. Go back to him. Make up. You're fine.
Be the moral support.
Yeah. That's funny.
Let's see. I see a quill from Faith. And so this is scene of tension. A wave of ill-timed anger washed over me at the comment. Trust you? You mean how you trusted me earlier? Kari groaned. Is this really the time to start arguing about that? Dun, dun, dun.
Interesting.
I like that. Courtney also says, I'd be an ally to the MC to Quinn in all of these episodes. Yes.
Yay.
You better be an ally because being on her bad side is not good. Also, Ingrid, if you forgot about the 200 character limit, if you want to split it up into like multiples, you can do like part 1, part 2. You can totally do that. I will also share a quill, significantly shorter than my last one. Sorry, that one was long. But shows tension or emotion. I really belong. No, let me read my words correctly. I never really belonged. It's time to disappear and become someone new, something new. Wiping any last trace of tears from my face, I put the key into the lock and turn hard. I am changed. There are no tears left.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Episode 1, right? That's in episode 1.
That's in episode 1 at the end of the opening chapter.
Yeah.
Then we have Jennifer. Okay, so this is a quill as well. Why would anyone want to be with someone who doesn't think they deserve to be treated well? What does it say about me that you think you only deserve trash? Am I trash, Thorn?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like the spunk. I'm a fan. Sweet. Cool. You guys are doing great. I'm going to ask Holly to pick a number now between, what did we just do? 4. So actually pick 2, 3, or 5.
Let's do 2.
2. Okay. What is, I'm going to let you read it. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, you're fine. You can either spill what's your least favorite genre to read or write, or quill, a line that hints at your book's theme.
Good question. All right.
I'm gonna try to quill. So
do it.
But I'm not prepared. So wait.
Oh, you're not ready. Okay, that's fine. I do see a quill from the last one because Ingrid was wonderful and put her thing into 2 different comments. So I'll just read that while we're percolating. So quill from last one from Ingrid. He stops by the bathroom door. The carpet beneath his feet is soaking, water squishing out under his weight. As he opens the door, the sound of gushing water from the shower becomes louder. As he keeps pushing the door open, it creates a small wave in the pooling water, and the white tiles beneath reveals that the water isn't clear at all. It's tinted red. Some mystery.
Oh my gosh.
A mystery murder.
I found my quill.
I was going to say, I can spill with that. I was going to say I can spill and kind of contingency with that.
Go ahead.
Because my least favorite to read, and I think it goes back to that overactive imagination, is I don't really like horror.
Same. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah, mystery's okay, but deep gore horror, not my thing. Because I don't want to be having dreams. I don't want to be having I have enough problems. Leave me alone.
Well,
yeah,
I will
second that.
Faith is agreeing with you, and also Mary is agreeing with you, and also Harlequin romance, least favorite genres.
Yes.
But I'm gonna let Holly also had a quill for this one, right?
Oh, yes, I do. And this is from my work in progress project, Diamond. So this time I think about if Allegra was gone, if she died, leaving me alone. Oh gods, I don't know what I'd do. Allegra is my everything. Everything I do is for her. Even though she's 2 years older than me, I feel like I'm her older sister. I try to protect her from mom and dad, but she's usually the one holding me together. Still, I can't help but think that if she dies, then I failed her. All the weight's been put on my shoulders, and I know who our parents would blame.
Ooh. Your character's carrying a lot.
Yeah.
That's at the beginning of that. I've got to beta read that for Holly. That's at the beginning of that story. So.
Okay.
Oh, nice, Alicia.
You're into it then.
Oh man, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Thanks, Holly.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Courtney Spills, least favorite genre to read or write is sci-fi. I like science, however, I can't write it. It is definitely challenging. I would agree. Oh my gosh, you got to know your stuff. To write, Jennifer says least favorite is historical. Too much research.
That's fair.
Agreed. JD says sci-fi or horror. And you guys, if you want to share anything else, just let me know. I'm just had new comments popping in.
I can't do poetry. I think it was college that did it in
Yeah.
me. I
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get it. Even when the professor's like going off about, I'm like, I don't get it.
If you want to try again, come play with me. I'm a poet.
I was gonna say you haven't read Alicia's poetry.
Yes, Alicia's poetry is super fun and very understandable. And
I had a bad experience with poetry too, though. So no matter how good it is, I just have that bad experience in my head with the professor, and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
On the other hand, I actually thoroughly enjoy Shakespeare, but I think that was because of my professor. Because
Right.
I was a really awesome professor.
I would say Shakespeare.
They make a difference.
Author. Shakespeare is my all-time favorite.
Aw.
Yeah. With
Can't
the
go
card.
wrong with Shakespeare.
That's awesome.
Ingrid says, I'm not that into spy thrillers nor explicitly gory or excessive violent stories. We are with you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read one more quill for this one. I think we have time for maybe one more spiller quill. And then we have another QA and a giveaway.
Yay.
So Leanne says, why did Papa send you? Kim whined. Kala scowled. Lord Sauron of Clan Kari was not her father. He'd taken each of them in when they were young, made them something to be feared, his weapons.
Ooh.
I like these girls already.
Yeah, Leanne, that makes me think a little bit of Black Widow. I don't know if you saw the new Black Widow movie that came out, but there's some Black Widow vibes hanging there for me.
Ooh, I
Nice.
like that. I agree. And okay, so who hasn't picked one yet?
Bethany.
Bethany?
Me? Yeah.
Do you want to pick either number
I'll pick
3
5.
or 5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Want to read this one?
Sure. If you could change one thing about the beginning of your writer/author journey, what would it be? And the quill is a funny line or exchange of dialogue. And like Mandy, I did not do my homework. So I'm going to go ahead and spill. I feel like this is deep, though. I feel like I should have thought this one through as well. All right. So really off the top of my head. Gosh, this is hard. One thing. Okay. I would say getting more feedback, as weird as that sounds, because I feel like, no, I'm going to change it. Just writing more and like going for it and not stopping, because I took like a good almost a 10-year break from a professor that made me feel bad. And I feel like if I'd have just kept going, I would have 10 years under my belt. I would have learned all the things that, I had to learn the last few years. And I feel like you have to write to learn. You can't do any little workarounds. You have to just fail forward and write.
Yes.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Also,
that's the
I will
only
beat up
way.
your professor for you. I will
What's
beat
that?
up your professor. I will beat up your professor for you. I'm mad that they made you feel.
Yeah. Well, in a way, it's a good thing because it became a motivation a little bit. So it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, I know, but I still want to motivate my foot right up there.
Yeah.
Alicia's got your back. If Alicia's your friend, she's got your back.
I was gonna say I will spill on this one.
Okay.
I kind of like Bethany's. I wish I would have gotten serious or like taken myself seriously as a writer sooner in my journey.
That's a good way to say it. Mm-hmm.
I really feel like I've built a great community for myself. I love the parts of my community that I've worked with over the last 4.5 years. And, NaNoWriMo like totally changed my life. But there was just, and like it's my writerversary, right? Like I wish I had that like just knowledge to say like, no, this is it. Like there isn't anything else above this for me. Like this is why I'm here. So it's
Yeah.
but at the same time, I have a hard time saying that because my journey is my journey, and I honor the parts of my journey that got me here. So it all lines up,
Yep.
you know, kind of like Bethany was saying. So
Yeah. Yep. I can relate to that.
I wish I had the experience like sooner, but at the same time, like I just think the experience I'm going to have like in 10 years, and Bethany, the experience you're going to have 10 years from now, and
Yeah.
you know, so like it's hard for me to like have this regret or like change one thing about the beginning of my writer journey because it wouldn't be mine then. It'd be.
But at the same time, yeah, we have the confidence in ourselves now because we had to go through that to get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like mine's kind of backwards because I feel like I was almost so focused on my writing at such a young age that I put like, I don't want to say like my life on hold, but I feel like, you know, I missed out on like certain like high school experiences and college experience because I was just so like career oriented at that age.
Yeah.
I can't say I regret it, but I wish someone had been there to be like, you can chill out a little bit.
Aw, that's an Enneagram 3 thing though, because I did the same thing with music, and it was just like you just are all in when you do something. If people told you, it might not have changed anything.
Yeah, probably not.
Are you both wing 4s then? Do you both wing 4? Yeah. Okay.
I have no freaking clue. Like I feel like do you know I had a guidance counselor who in high school who told me because they had put me in AP calculus for whatever reason, and I said you need to take me out of this class because I can't focus on my writing, and she was like, your writing can wait a year. I'm like, no, it can't. This is my
oh my gosh.
It was this whole thing, and she was like, go to college. I'm like, I don't need to go to college. I need to write.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So we need like balance on both sides, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I just want to pull up a few spills. I'm seeing Ingrid says, I would have liked to not spend so much time worrying and instead just start writing and not look back.
Yes.
Good word. Good word. Leanne says, I wish I'd started writing sooner. I didn't seriously try it until I was in university. Totally. So we've got some people feeling similar. Courtney says, I'd create an outline to keep me on track. So you're learning how you function, definitely.
Yep.
JJ says, I wish I had gotten more involved in the writing community sooner and self-published sooner. And this is what I would have said too, JJ, is that I wish I had considered self-publishing more seriously sooner. And I will say that I don't regret it necessarily because I learned a lot from pursuing traditional publishing and getting feedback in that arena and learning the market and stuff. But I feel like I'm probably going to jinx myself, but I feel like my next book is going to come out so much faster because I'm self-publishing it and not like, wasting time.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Like, make the book something that someone else is going to like, I'm just going to pull up another.
There's so many good ones. Yeah.
I know. Picking one genre or age group rather than waffling for 3 books before I landed on middle grade contemporary fantasy. But maybe it took some time to figure out which one was you.
It can be hard to figure out. I did that too. Yeah. You just you try what you think works, and then you're like, oh, wait, no, this is what I want. Right. Sometimes it takes time.
Trial by fire.
And I know.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know some of these ladies might disagree with me on this, but I believe there's no such thing as wasted words, that all the words that you wrote, even if they're not necessary for the current project that you're working on, make you better. And they make your editing side better. And so I don't believe in wasted words, even if they're not words used for this project.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. Alicia, we call things that Alicia says like Alicia-isms because they are bold. And she just says things just so wonderfully.
I was going to say, you said it very condensed, this pearl of wisdom where it would have taken me a minute to get there.
That's why we're like, you need to start an author tube because you need to show your face and say words.
Say words.
I did. I'm saying words.
Holly,
Savannah
did you want
says,
to
oh, sorry.
go on, Sean?
I was going to say, Savannah says we need a No Wasted Words t-shirt.
Oh, I'll make them. I love them.
Next mastermind group.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
next
about it.
week. I have a quick little funny exchange.
Do it.
I scan the room and my attention zeroes in on a dashingly handsome young man with flowing blonde hair and piercing green eyes visible through his golden mask, standing near the buttered buns. Dang, I knew I should have gone by the food. Those carbs look delicious.
That was such a good one, Holly.
Really good one. I love it.
That's awesome.
There's some other quills in the comments as well. Let's read a couple of them. Where he says, "Oh, gross! Thorn covered his face with a throw pillow. Put your abs away. We're talking about my mother." That's a really good one. I'm glad we're ending on funny ones. Just Leanne says, "I'm bored." Kim complained. Kala eyes the large tankard in Kim's small hands that had been overflowing with beer foam. "Yeah, you look like you're suffering." Blew out a trail of smoke. Nice. And let's see. Faith has a quill. "Why can't I ride with Alba?" I asked. Corey frowned. I trust Noel more. Sorry. "I trust Noel more with her," he said. I scowled. "What do you think I'm going to do to her? You're the one who's more likely to get strangled." Nice.
That's awesome.
Guys, this was so much fun. We're going to wrap it up here with the Spiller Quill, but thank you. Give a round of applause for everybody sharing their answers and quills. It was really fun to read. What we're going to finish off with is one final Q&A and one final giveaway. So stay tuned. But we'll be wrapping up stuff soon. I'm going to bring this up.
Yay!
Woo-hoo!
Oh, we have some good questions too. Are you ready for this?
Really good questions. And actually, I'm going to bring this back down and do a banner. But yes, and my main moderator is going to be Bethany. So she's going to be asking the questions. But if you guys have other questions as we go ahead, my other wonderful co-host will grab them as well. So let's go for it.
Perfect. I'll try to remember to ask in between. But the first one is, are you going to be taking a much needed break, or are there still things to do? And how long? Wait, I'm kind of wrecking the answer. How long will your break be?
Yes. No, it's good.
We've been reading to it all night.
Yeah.
So I am all set to take an official break starting tomorrow.
Yay.
I'm planning to at least take 2 weeks, like till the end of the month, from everything. So sorry, but no new YouTube videos. Or I will be trying to resist jumping into the next stories or promoting or getting ready for the paperback, because I just need a solid break.
Good for you.
And I'm planning to do things that will rejuvenate me. So I have a bunch of books that I have been putting off reading, a TBR list this high, but I'm so excited to just like sit outside in the fall weather and just like read. I need to clean and organize my house like nobody's business. I want to take walks, see my family and friends, and it is my birthday on the 27th. So I'm going to do something.
Ooh, very fun. Very, very fun. The 27th, that's like right before Nano. Do you have plans for Nano then?
That is a good segue, Bethany.
You're good.
So if I do Nano, I will definitely be a rebel, because no matter what story I work on, I'll need to do more plotting. So I'll definitely be in the plotting phase, but I'll share a little bit more about that in the next question.
That's going to be exciting. I am very excited as a CP to hear more about that. So what is next for the world? Like, tell us more about Phelan and this season 2 that we've been hinting at.
So I am looking to do a few things coming up still with even season 1 before we get to season 2. Is I want to do an end of series book chat. And as I've already said, I need a little bit of a break, but I think I want to give at least a couple weeks, one for my break, but also for anybody who hasn't read the series or is, behind in the series and wants to catch up so they can join in on the live chat. I'm thinking about doing it the first week in November, but that's also NaNoWriMo. So I would love to hear from you guys. would that be okay with you? Would you still join that? My other option is I could do it at the tail end of October and just like do one of those in my break, just a little bit at the tail end. But if we could do it the first week of November, really early on, it might even be super rejuvenating for you guys to talk about a different story and to get ideas and to hear how I plotted certain things or came up with ideas. So my preference would be the first week in November, but I would love to hear what you guys think too.
Definitely.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. I also I want to do the paperback. And I want to get that out to you guys with some fun bonus material. I'm working on a map of Phelan with my friend Kara, who is a literal cartographer in real life. So that's really exciting. And Hillary and I have been working on the cover for the paperback.
Let's see it.
So what I'm about to show you is not the final cover, but I've put something together that has the right typography for the title, and it has something in the background that's going to hint at something that's going to be on the cover. I will let you know that all the characters will be on the cover, all the 5 main competitors. It's not on this cover right now, but you're going to get like a little bit of a hint of a vibe of where we're going. So this is the temporary cover. That's going to be the paperback. So we've got some blue smoke that's going to be involved in the paperback cover, but we will also have all the other characters, and we've got the typography going on, which I'm really excited about. So if you want to see the real cover first and know when it goes on pre-order for the first time, there is a link down below on my read-along page on my website. There is now something at the bottom of that page that says you can sign up to get an alert to see the cover first and to also know when it goes on pre-order first. So that is really
mock-ups. I've seen the mock-ups. You're going to want to sign up to see. Just based on the mock-ups, you're going to want to.
Yes, I think all of these ladies have seen seen the progress so far. Hillary's doing an amazing job, and getting all the characters on there together has not been an easy task, but it's going to be really, really cool.
A lot of brain power.
Yes, a lot of brain power. But I'm going to be probably in November when I get back to stuff. I'm going to be formatting to try to get this 55,000 word novel at this point to not a huge book. I'm going to have to ask Bethany and Mandy for all the formatting tricks and tips. But then we're going to get the cover on there. I need to order proof copies, and then I don't have a date for it yet, but I'll let you guys know again when you sign up what the pre-order date is.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yes.
I was going to say, for everybody who's watching, let Brittany know if you enjoy thick books, because I like to tell her that I think you guys will actually like that, but I think she'd like to hear it from you too.
Also take into consideration printing costs.
Yep, that's true.
Yes, right. And that's the balance. But definitely, if you guys like thick books, let us know.
Yeah, let her know.
I'd also love to do.
Cannot lie.
Oh yeah. There's a video out there somewhere that like does a spoof on that song.
No way.
And it's hysterical. I also really want to do an audiobook. So if you guys know of resources to look into about doing that, hiring people or doing it yourself, I'm going to be researching that. I also, some of you have been asking how my brother's game based on the book is going. And for the first time ever, I'm going to show you some of the behind the scenes right now of where we started with the game, what the board game is actually looking like. And where it's kind of going. We don't have an end date of when it's actually going to be available, but he's working on it. So here's some of the work he's been doing on what's going to be called Defending Phelan. This is where the map started. I got to play a version of it online. You can like put your board game and all the pieces like in an online playing area. And we got to play his version of it online and like give feedback as he was working on it. But this is sort of more of an updated look. He has like a cover for it already. And if you want to follow the progress, he has an Instagram called Defending Phelan. So you can follow that on Instagram. And we're also, he's having characters designed. Some of them will be characters from the books, and some of them will be, fairies that are inspired by the clan, so new ones. But the one at the top left is actually Lehman, Alice's brother.
I was going to say.
It had to be. It looks great.
Yes.
So do you really, is it sort of like Dungeons and Dragons style? Because I see like health points and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so I can't compare it to that specifically. But there's like a deck building, part of it, and then there's like health points, and like he's trying to go back and forth between like, are the players against each other or are they working together against the game? So he might end up having two different versions of the game. But Alicia,
okay, I have a follow-up. And is this game close to the game that they play in episode 6?
So I put in that scene about a game that they play because my brother was working on a game, and it is not the exact game, but I simplified some ideas in order to put in a type of game in episode.
That's awesome.
That's great. So that was really fun. So my brother still hasn't finished reading the final version of episode 6, so I'm really excited for him to get to that part and see what he thinks.
I wondered that too. That's a good question. I remember reading that and being like, I wonder if this
I was
is
like, wait a minute. And I just flew through it today, so it's like fresh up in my mind, right? So I was like, wait a minute.
It was a fun scene to write, but I think it's going to be fun to like tell readers, how they play a game like in the book, like it's not the exact game, but you can play a game based on the book, and here's the game. So those are some of the fun reveals I wanted to give you guys. But writing wise, I would love to get season 2 going ASAP because I know you guys are already itching for it. But I think I also want to do some plotting with Sisters of the Shadowwood and Project Snow and see which project calls to me most. Actually, watching one of Bethany's vlogs lately about trying to decide which project you were going to do for Nano. It was like fun to see you kind of wrestling with that and like kind of playing with both and then deciding which one. So
are you going to try to do that? You're going to plot all 3 and see which one?
Well, and Sisters of the Shadow, all of the books have some kind of plotting.
You do,
done.
Yep,
it's just a matter of fleshing it out and then deciding which one I'm like the most excited to go with.
Oh, I love that.
What?
I said, or come play with me in pants.
Pants. I know. Alicia's our resident pantser.
I feel like that would drive Brittany crazy, though.
It would. It's like a plot. She can't pants. We're still in great balance. We provided a lot of good balance for each other.
Yes. And whichever one you decide to go with, like whether it's Sisters of the Shadowwood or season 2 or whatever, do you think you'll do fast releases like you have been doing, or do you think you'll slow it down, maybe go full novel length?
Right. So season 2, I feel like it would be best to do a serial because that's how season 1 came out.
Yeah.
And my only issue is then figuring out how I want to break up the story because small spoiler, there won't be a competition in the second one. So that was what made it super easy to split it up into a serial in the first one. So then now I have, as I'm plotting, I have to figure out, okay, what are the mini story arcs? But my plan is to do the same kind of thing. But I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do 2 weeks apart or if I'm going to make the episodes a little longer and maybe do 3 or 4 weeks apart, just because doing 2 weeks apart was a lot.
Didn't you say too that 6 was a lot and you would do less, like 3 or 4?
Right. So like Sisters in the Shadowwood only has 4 episodes that are planned. And so, and they would be like a tiny bit longer. So I feel like if I can make it work, I'd probably do that with season 2. And you know how you can like plot out a full length novel and you can kind of break it into like the setup and then like the fun and games with the midpoint and then the bad guys close in and then the finale. I feel like those would be the 4 like kind of episodes.
Or you could even do 3 because it's like half the length of the first season and then you have act 3, like 3 act structure, right? Isn't that what people use?
That's
just
true.
throwing that out there. I'm curious if people think 3 is a good serial.
Right. And at
Netflix
the
shows
end-
sometimes have 2.
Yeah, and I feel like it wouldn't be much of a serial if it was only 2, but I feel like 3 or 4 would be good.
Yeah.
And I feel like the story is going to tell me as I work on it, you know.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah. But the only standalone that I have is Project Snow, and I've potentially thought about you know, querying it because it has the potential to have a sequel, but I don't have any ideas for the sequel in the moment. And I feel like it has the most flexibility that if a publisher was like, hey, can we like play with this or change that? I'm not as attached to certain things. So we'll see what happens with that one.
Ooh, that would be super cool. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to hear more about that. So our next question is, now that you're back to drafting again, is there anything you're planning to do differently, like batch writing or working on multiple series at once or other things like that?
Right. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned about drafting from drafting season 1 is that, well, first it started with plotting, that I took way too long to plot because I thought that the more I plotted, the cleaner my draft would be. And, you know, like maybe it helped a little bit, but I also changed it a lot after getting feedback, even though I plotted a lot. So even though I'd still call myself primarily a plotter, when Bethany and I interviewed Jessica Brody for our Save the Cat experiment. My gosh, how long ago was that now?
Long time.
The one thing that definitely stuck with me when we interviewed her was that she only plotted for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And then she fast drafted in like a month or so. And then that's when she started really digging in and revising and doing all that. So I feel like now, having the experience I have, I feel like that's what I want to try to do, to just get everything out there and then like really work on it after that first draft is done. So
yes, it's almost like you do the same amount of work. It's weird.
It's so but it has potential to like move faster, you know.
Exactly.
And I do not want it to be another 3 years before I
No, it won't.
Just watch. In 6 months, she'll be like, guys, guess what?
Yeah, Ben would probably kill me, but just just kidding.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you've learned about the publishing side of things too. Like, just to throw in my own question, do you think there's something you do differently? Oh wait, this is pretty much a question. No, sorry. It's a slight twist on the next question. Do you feel like there's anything you do differently publishing wise next time, now that you've kind of learned this? I know we've talked about it before, but
I feel like the biggest thing is like I would get everything possibly done before I published, because I did everything up until proofreading, and I thought proofreading would be fairly simple, and it was like editing kind of all over. No, it's fine. Bethany was one of my proofreaders, but it wasn't just you. I had 2 other proofreaders, and I was very thankful for it because it made certain things like that much tighter. But I have to know now that the next time I go to proofread, like, it could feel like another editing session. I don't want to be doing that while I'm publishing. So I think that that's the biggest thing that I learned.
Proofreading is never simple.
We make it sound simple because it's supposed to be just like little things here and there, and it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am so grateful for proofreaders, because like that is not an Alicia job. Okay, that is not Alicia's job, is to write, and proofreading. I'm happy to hire that out. Like,
I like that.
So thankful for proofreaders.
And actually, as a testament to my proofreaders, I've had multiple people tell me that, wow, like, even if they find like one little thing here and there, they're like, I've gotten arcs from traditional publishers that have more typos or more issues than yours does, you know. So you have a strong team. So Bethany and my husband Ben and my friend CJ, you guys did amazing. So thank you.
I will say, I literally find at least one typo in every TradPub book. So just saying, it's not actually that uncommon. But on a happier note, let's switch to like a happier thing, because Brittany has some PTSD from proofreading. How will you do the promotion side of things differently next time? Very curious about this.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about this a little bit last week when I did my like rapid releasing experience. So if you want a lot of details, I would watch that video. But I will just say that, like, I think I learned from watching sales corresponding to the organic marketing that I was doing. I learned, I think, what really actually transferred into sales and what things might have been fun for me or might have been fun for people to see, but didn't actually
Move the needle.
Move the needle, right. And so I
Yeah.
think from that experience, I would narrow down to those things that I felt like really moved the needle. And then I'd also maybe do a little bit of ads, but I haven't learned much about that yet. Bethany sent me a free course type thing that I signed up for.
Yeah, just today we found it. Yeah.
So I still think, or that I've heard, you know, like you shouldn't invest in ads until you have like a few books in the series in, because then it does more for the money you're spending. But I think that, you know, if I had like 3 or 4 of the books in the serial out, I might start playing around with ads if I already had experience. So Alicia also has that figured out.
Yes. I was just going to say a lot of the comments are asking for plugs about Shadowwood, Sisters of Shadowwood. So you may want to direct people about that or give a quick flip.
Yes,
Good
I would love
catch.
to hear more about Sisters of the Shadow. I'm very curious to see how you're going to work this retelling mashup. Yeah, so what I can tell you right now is that the first draft has gone through beta readers. It went through beta readers last year, so I have feedback that I'm going to work through that. But I haven't drafted the other books yet. But I think based on the feedback I got for episode 1, some of those other stories might change a little bit. But it's basically like a Once Upon a Time, like the TV show. But they're not like transported from like a fairy tale world. They just, each of the characters kind of are based off of fairy tale characters of the ones we know. And there's a lot of cool things that happen in it. I could, once I start working on it, I could do a video that has a lot more details for you guys about where it's going.
I remember reading that beginning one. It's very fun. It's very fun. And I was going to say there were a couple, there was like 2 or 3, good catch, Alicia, about asking more information about Shadowwood. So going into the next question, if you had all of your editing and formatting ready to go, would you ever rapid release another serial at this pace again, like the every 2 weeks? Or, because you kind of said it was a lot, but if everything was 100% ready, would you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I think I might try it again. But my only other issue that still wouldn't be solved, even if I had everything done, is that, you know, when you have a platform that you're not just talking to your readers, but you're also talking to writers, I had very little bandwidth to actually like just speak to my writer community, even though I tried to like kind of couch everything I was doing with my books with a writer lens to kind of pull people in. I think that if they weren't a fantasy reader, you know, or they didn't like really long live streams or, you know, whatever, like I was prioritizing my reader audience to really build that, but I didn't have the space in the breathing room to really also reach my writer audience as much. And so I feel like I've had more quality engagement because the people who are reading the books and really excited about what I'm talking about are like, you guys are here like every week, like for 2 hours, like, oh my gosh, thank you. But there's definitely people that I know are like kind of waiting for me to get back to like maybe shorter videos that have like some tips again and different things that I feel like if I had more time in between releases, I could also sprinkle some of those in without, again, like feeling crunched for time.
That makes total sense.
So that was the only thing there.
That makes absolute sense. So it's like, it's good for the reader side, but it's not good for author mental health. Sounds like.
Right. And just more breathing room for me would be nice too.
Here's a question I'm going to throw in there. It can be a quick one. Would you do like a fast release and then slow it down for the ones following maybe? So like first and second book come out?
Right.
Quick.
That's the other thing that I've thought about is like maybe fast releasing the first 2 and then having a little bit more time and then fast releasing the next 2.
There you go.
Or releasing the first one, giving it more space for people to actually get in on it.
True.
And then fast releasing the next parts or something. So there is, I have to be careful about what I promise, because I think whatever I promise, I want to deliver on. So I have to like think about it. Yeah,
that's really wise, because there's a lot of strategies, but there's also yourself to consider and what you're, without losing it completely, because as authors, we can stress ourselves out. Do you think that you will stick with self-publishing, or are you interested in trying traditional publishing and being a hybrid author?
Yeah, I will say that I've really loved learning all the things, having the control, making all the decisions. But I also, I'm still interested in hybriding. I think again, I would just need that standalone that I have some flexibility with. And so I think that again, Project Snow might be the one that, eventually I work on, and then like I self-publish other things while that's like out for querying or something.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a fun balance because then you get to do a little bit of both. You don't have to be locked into one or the other.
Right, exactly.
Do you plan on writing in other genres, or do you feel like sci-fi and or sci-fi and romance, sorry? Or do you feel like if you did that, you would write in a pen name maybe? This is a fun question.
Yeah. And it's one I don't think I've been asked before. So I think for me, I feel really at home in fantasy, and I feel like you can pull in elements of romance, and you can pull in even like sci-fi or like tech stuff like I kind of did in this series. So I think I'd probably stay here. The only genre that I've thought about is like nonfiction, and maybe doing some like writer related nonfiction type things. That would be also fun to kind of pull in all the things that like I've been sharing on YouTube or blogging or whatever, and like kind of creating like a resource or something. So that's the only thing I've thought of.
That makes total sense. And I'm going to jump to the comments really quick because Jackie put in a question, which you kind of touched on, but I think it'd be fun to hear the straightforward answer too. Do you think you'll keep self-publishing serials, or would you do full-length novels?
Right.
So I feel like you kind of hinted at this.
Yeah. I think like if I was going to do a full-length novel series, I think it really depends on what the story is calling for. Because right now, again, like Sisters of the Shadowwood was meant to be a serial. It's very like it makes sense for it to be a serial. If Project Snow didn't get picked up by a traditional publisher, and I really believed in it, then I would probably self-publish the full-length novel. And if I had an idea for a sequel, I would do a sequel. It's like, it's kind of like I don't have a predetermined, like I can only do this. I'm gonna put this in the box, it's whatever step is next, I guess, naturally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And so then that leads to really nicely into, would you ever consider co-writing a book or novel?
Yeah. So I'd definitely be open to it based on who it is. Obviously, you guys know that Bethany and I in the Save the Cat experiment, a lot of the whole book that we talked about co-writing, but we both had our own, projects that we were focusing on. I think something like that would be really fun to return to at some point. But yeah, it depends on the person I would be working with. And also, I think KDP made it easier now, but like sharing.
I heard that.
Thought it was also Digital that made that change, not necessarily KDP.
Yeah, I think Draft to Digital has a box now. KDP lets you co-author, but it doesn't split royalties for you. Yeah. But Draft to Digital does split the royalties, so you don't even have to worry about taxes and the crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So if there's an option like that, I think that would be my only other thing that I would worry about. But that's helpful.
The business side is more annoying than the writing side is the fun part.
Right.
So will the author website bootcamp be given extra attention as you wrap up the release of this serial?
Yes, good question. I'm going to answer that in just a second because I just want to shout out Project Griffin. We need that.
Yay!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to bring it back someday.
I did too. That's so fun.
I'd have to rewatch all of our live streams though, because like the story is
forgotten
like nebulous. Yes, right. Which might be a good thing to kind of rework it a little bit. But with Author Website Bootcamp, I definitely have plans and dreams to like revamp and kind of update that. It will not be right away because again, need a break. And I would like to start working on a new project, but I think like it's a December, January kind of project potentially.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's our last question in that area, which leads nicely into our giveaway, which is going to wrap up our night. Because let me pull it up here. We're going to have a giveaway.
And shoot, it's a fun one.
Wait. I went too fast. Okay, hold on. All right.
So many giveaways.
So with this giveaway, I only have one question, but I want to give away to two people, and you have the choice of a few different things when you win. You can pick any book in the series that I would give you for free that you haven't read already. You could pick this wonderful sticker sheet that the art is by Arctic Paintbrush, but the sheet design is by Stone Ridge Stickers, which is Mandy. So if you are an author who already has artwork that you want to turn into stickers, she did this so wonderfully. And I know she was like, hey, I can do this for other people. So just giving the plug.
So cool. I love it.
So fun. I have them right here, and I have a few of them left. The sticker sheet is only for those in the US though, because yes, just mailing things is tough. But there are other things for you guys that if you're not in the US, you could get all the desktop wallpapers, which includes 5 and 6, which aren't on the screen. So you get 6 desktop wallpapers, all with the artwork from the books. You could also pick 20% off of Author Website Bootcamp, or 15% off from your entire purchase at my merch store. So this is what you could win. I'm going to take off this banner too, so we can stop hiding Alicia's face. I'm so sorry, Alicia.
Oh,
Here right now. Who knows?
But here is the question again. During the last Q&A, this answer was given, and for the first 2 people who answer it correctly, you guys get to pick one of these prizes. Ready?
Ooh.
Here we go. The question is, what's the working title of the story I mentioned that I might try to traditionally publish? First 2 people.
Sneaky.
First 2 people to say it in the comments correctly will get to pick one of these prizes. Let's see. Any other comments too that I'm missing?
Oh, I see them. They're coming in. Okay, I don't know who's first though.
All right. So I see Faith, number 1. And number 2, oh, sorry. I know I just clicked on Morgan's, but I saw Dreamer.
Yep. That's the order I see too.
Is the number 2 that I see. So you guys can DM me on Instagram and or email me if you rather. And you guys can pick one of those 2 prizes. Woo!
Yay!
You can get a mug.
Yes. Oh, let's just hold on. We're gonna do this.
Oh,
so
I love it.
If you want to get the 15% off, right? You could get a mug. Can we show off the shirt again? The back of the shirt for Holly. She got the long sleeve that just came out with the wings on the back. So cool. And the lovely Quinn mug that we have there. And then I have the slouchy tee with all the
I love
characters
that one.
it looks like Friends, but it says fairies. And let's see, we got pouches, we got all kinds of fun stuff. So if you would like that, get your merch for your favorite fairy. And let's see, Jackie's saying I still need to buy my Alice and Vale mugs. Yes, do it. So awesome, guys. This is the end. But I do want to wrap up by just saying a couple of things. No, Alicia, she made it so long. If you see her come back, let me know.
Okay.
But I don't want you to forget that if you haven't finished the series yet, the whole thing is available now on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. You can read the whole series for free if you already have Kindle Unlimited, or if you want to search on Google Kindle Unlimited free trial and you haven't tried to use that yet, then you could do that. You can also I'm going backwards, sorry guys.
Alicia's
you
back.
Sign up. She's back?
Yeah.
Hi, Alicia. Let me grab her. Okay.
Thank you.
You can also sorry. You can also sign up to see the paperback first and know when it's up for pre-order. That link is down below on the read along page. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel and newsletter so you know when our end of series book chat is happening. I think I missed if you guys said in the comments if you were okay with it being the first week in Nano. So if I missed it, you can say it again. But I will look back as well and let you know when that will be. And I also want to say a big thank you to all of you who came live, who are watching the replay, those of you that are reading and also reviewing books. If you're reviewing them, I love you so much. It really means the world to me. I also can't say thank you enough to my incredible ARC readers and ARC team members. my faithful patrons, my awesome YouTube members, and of course my fabulous co-hosts who you can connect with through their social media and YouTube stuff that I've linked down below. I love you guys so much. And this has been really, really fun. Just a great way to kind of cap off the series until we have our book chat. And yeah, you guys, I'm going to be not really on here at least for 2 weeks. I might pop up on Instagram just to be like in my stories, be like, I'm not dead. But this is what's going on. But you guys, it's been so much fun. And I don't have anything else to say. Do you guys have anything else to say before we leave?
Congratulations, Brittany, on 6 books.
You guys are fabulous. That's awesome. Mother. Congrats. So thank you so much. And I'm just going to put up our last final slide here to say goodbye. And we'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Bye, guys. I really
lost Alicia again.
Hold on.
Oh, is this the last slide you were talking about?
Wait a minute. I can do this. This is always the fun part, guys. Okay.
Bye.
All right, goodbye.